Hello, my name's Daljit Nagra and I'm one of the judges this year for the Stephen Spender Poetry Prize. I've got myself 3 questions to answer, so I'll go about it that way, I think. My first question to myself is, why should I translate poems? Well, I've translated many poems in the past, and the main reason I do it is it's really good fun. It's just like having a good time working with another poem. And it's partly a way of getting out of your own culture, the kind of world you're used to. It's almost like going on holiday. You go to a different country, so with a poem you go to a different culture, different landscape, and you inhabit that for a while, and that can be fun. And also, I think more importantly, as a poet, I find I'm writing my own thoughts all the time and thinking what I'm thinking. But actually, it's a really good way of coming out of yourself by trying to translate somebody else's work. So you have to enter their imagination, you have to enter their thinking. Okay, 2 more questions. My second one to myself was, how do I translate poetry? Well, one of the interesting things for me is that it's impossible to translate a poem from one language to another because we can't get the sounds of that language exactly across. So in a sense, every poem that's being translated is an original work because you're injecting your own personality into the poem. So I would first encourage you to really listen to the poem, to the moods, the ideas, and see if you can get the best types of words in English that capture that. There's no right answer, as there might be in a maths question, but you're trying to really capture your personality as it relates to that poem. So really it's about yourself in connection with that poem, in engagement with it. And my final question to myself is, who should translate poems? Well, do you need to be experienced to translate poems? I would say no. Often it's finding the right poem, the best poem that suits your personality. So over the years I've translated poetry, and I'm not sure if my translations that I've done later on have been better than the earlier ones I did. What I would say is, where I've really connected with the poem, which I've really enjoyed, they've been my best translations. So I would encourage a 5-year-old to have a go at translating a poem, a 10-year-old or an adult, doesn't really matter. What we want to feel in this translate poem is a personality, a sense of a voice coming alive, as though it really feels like it was you who wrote the poem, even though it was and wasn't, because obviously you're taking someone else's poem. So I would encourage everybody to have a go at the competition. It's never too late to enter. If you get really bored and stuck, just do it in an afternoon in this kind of lockdown phase. You could probably spend 1 hour having a read a poem and just writing an early draft of it and sending that in. And sometimes that kind of raw, fresh draft can be the very best one. So I look forward to seeing your entries soon.